I want to try making my own titanium Damascus glasses. I had to get my first pair of glasses at the age of 11, and at the same age, I fell in love with making things from steel. The idea of making my own glasses has been lurking in the back of my head for a long time, but there are some downsides to my namesake material. It's quite heavy, it rusts, and it will tarnish the skin. But over the last few months, we've been figuring out how to make titanium Damascus here in the workshop, and it's got some great advantages. It's about 45% lighter than steel, it can be about 30% stronger, and we can turn it into some amazing patterns with crazy colors. So hopefully we're going to take this idea from the back of my mind, slap it on my face, and make my own pair of titanium Damascus glasses. The first step is material prep. Bugger! Oh my god! We are approximately a minute into the video and it is already side project time. I've been having to do a lot of cleaning of small little bits of thin material recently, and it's a nightmare. Doing it on the belt grinder, I end up grinding my fingers more than the workpiece. This Scotch-Brite wheel's okay, but sometimes not aggressive enough and also has a tendency to throw the pieces. One of my options of cleaning these parts is to use the surface grinder, which is something I do want to try, but because titanium's non-magnetic, it's going to require gluing the pieces down. And my suspicion is that that's going to be less efficient than just quickly cleaning the bits up at the belt grinder or the mop. So I then thought to myself, what if we could suck it? They use vacuum fixtures all the time in industry. Why don't we try making our own? A little plate with about 1.5 millimeters lip, a hole, something to seal it, connected over to the vacuum pump. It's not bad, eh? Let's see if this is a decent proof of concept. It's brilliant! This is great! I'm quite hopeful that we're going to be seeing a few more of these in other people's workshops. Please don't hold me responsible if this blows up your vacuum pumps, though. It's probably not very healthy for it. We got 2 tasty chunks, 2 blockerinos. Reminder if you're new, the whole purpose of these boxes, these canisters, is so that I can pump argon gas through this tube and out that little hole to fill the insides with that argon, which is inert and means that we're not going to have oxygen reacting with the titanium. Go time! I partnered with MyHeritage for this portion of the video, and I have been finding the service incredibly interesting. It's a leading global family history and DNA service that makes exploring our heritage easier than ever. A few weeks ago, I took the DNA test. It was super simple, easy little cheek swab, whack it in an envelope, send it back, and I just got my results through. My ethnicity estimate is 47.2% English. That makes sense, but I was super surprised to see 33.7% Irish, Scottish, and Welsh. I had no idea. 9% Balkan, 5% Iberian. Clearly this explains my ambling nature, because it seems my ancestors have done a whole lot more moving about than I thought they did. It's important to note that MyHeritage committed to never selling or licensing its genetic data in their privacy policy. Doing the DNA test helped me find relatives that I haven't connected with in a long time, as well as some that I didn't know exist. With MyHeritage, you can build out your family tree, get instant discoveries. They've got access to over 20 billion documents to help expand your understanding of your heritage, and you can colorize old photos and bring them to life. So please give MyHeritage a try and buy a DNA kit by clicking the link that's in the description below, or go to myheritage.com/forge and use coupon code FORGE for free shipping. And as an added bonus, you can get a 30-day free trial to MyHeritage's best subscription for family research. Check them out on the link below. Let's get back to it. I'm a numpty. Look what I did. I forgot to weld this one. Look at that. There's no TIG weld. I just folded it over, so this is great. I think I'm kind of committed though at this point. If there is not enough argon pumping through, and any oxygen can get through that enormous open gaping seam that we have, we're toast. And I will have just ruined about 100 pounds worth of titanium. Moron. That's worrying. That tells me something's not right inside there. Whoop. The fact that it wasn't showing an even temperature throughout shows me that heat isn't conducting as it should, and something's been allowed to cool down way more than it should, which wouldn't happen if it was one homogeneous block. There's a very good chance that I've ruined that billet. Next one in. Here we go. Wow, that's weird. So, We can take the jacket off once they're welded because the oxygen's not going to get between the layers once it's stuck. You'll see one of these looks a lot different to another. This one looks as we'd hope. This one, well, a bit funky. Now what I suspect happened is because of that enormous unwelded seam and me increasing the amount of argon flow to make sure there was no oxygen, I think it's likely there was so much argon flowing through this top surface, it was having the effect of cooling it, meaning this was a lot colder than the rest of it. So this, we can get rid of the rough edges on the grinder, maybe in the mill. That, I'm gonna take it to the bandsaw. We don't want any of these nasty seams in the material when we go to forge it down and change its shape. So all of this has to go. Right, this has turned into a failure. Not a very happy blacksmith today. Look at these inclusions where it wasn't welded. More of them. On the other piece, the billet is practically microscopic. It's so small now. And look at that mess. I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. I have run out, or near enough, I don't have enough for new billets, of these sized bits of titanium. So in the morning, we're gonna have to unbox the big sheets, these bad boys, and start all over again. Yay for failure. Sick. Look at the difference in tensile strength between grade 2 and grade 5. 345 compared to 895. The density between alloys is really surprisingly different as a result of the completely different alloy composition. I hope this isn't the part of the video right before I break my brand new to me guillotine. This is shearing titanium for the first time. Get in! Woo! I've been nervous about that for months. Grade 2. Thumbs up if you just ground off the tip of your thumb. Yay! Obviously, hand grinding vacuum fixture number 1 is not big enough for these larger coupons. Side project 2. It's gonna go together like this. There we go. See if it works. Yippee! Oh, it wasn't filming! Shoot! It just exploded! Oh, I hate when that happens. Oh no! No! My carbide platen! Oh, poor thing. You lasted 8 years though, so not so bad. Woo, hot, hot, hot. There we go. Look at the damage the belt did over here. It completely mangled that card. This time around, we're gonna get precise temperatures. I'm also gonna take it a little bit easier under the hammer. This should only take 1 heat. Just gotta treat it like all those titanium steel experiments I did. Let's hopefully get a nice weld. Woo! Should I have done more? I don't know. Fingers firmly crossed. That looks beautiful. Okay, so this time around, instead of using the steam hammer, I'm gonna come over here to the Stanko. And the reason for it is, it's gonna be a little bit gentler. I kinda got the feeling that this old girl's just a little bit too strong for that poor little bit of titanium yesterday. Off camera, I had the delightful task of fixing this situation. I had to make a new top die insert. This is obviously the fatal flaw of the design, but this becomes unattached. Funnily enough, I had earmarked this block of 4140 for slicing up and machining into brand new dies and getting away from that weak insert system. But now that this thing has become a really beautiful vice holder for the bandsaw, as you saw in the last episode, I need to order some more steel, because this is a really important job. We got to get away from this, you know? I want to forge this bar down to a really consistent size, and the best way to do that is with kiss blocks. When we were in Montana, I had one of our colleagues make up a beautiful set of them, every size imaginable, flipping back and forth. They were the bee's knees, but we don't have them. And since it's been more than 30 seconds working on the actual project for the day, definitely time for a side project. Damn, that's quick, even in 6 mil. Pretty simple. Kiss block stops the top die from going any further. Tell you what, the good thing about this project is I'm getting my practice in, and I definitely need it. I think it might just be that I got really quite lucky on my first few attempts at making titanium Damascus, because boy, this is definitely challenging. We've got a flapper. Here's a little bit of delamination that's come through all the way across. Big old flapper, unwelded bit. I'm gonna cool this down nice and slow. And I think that makes for a nice point to talk about the pattern that I want to try and do on this. After our disastrous failure 24 hours ago, my initial plan was to make up a mosaic pattern, but having to start all over again and being under a time crunch made me decide to do something else. We've just forged it into a rough round bar. I'm gonna put it in the lathe, and I'm gonna turn down the outside till we're through the scale, and then we're gonna twist both sides in opposite directions. We'll then be able to forge it down, cut it in half again, stack it up 4 ways, and get a chevron pattern. Same type of thing that you saw us do on the Viking sword all those years ago. But of course, this is going to be the first time I've ever done it in titanium, and I don't even know if it's been done in titanium full stop. I must say, I think I'm the worst person in the world at judging time. It's 9:55 again. For some reason, yesterday morning when I started this project, there was actually a very significant part of me that thought by this time today, I would have a finished pair of titanium Damascus glasses. I put some square ends on it so that I can stick it in these. As I said last night, I need to twist half of this one way, half of this another way. But my plan is to do it to the same bar. So about halfway, we'll stop twisting it clockwise, and we'll start twisting it anti-clockwise. All right. This is scary. Kind of a little bit exciting, kind of a little bit scary. A little concoction of everything. 3, 2, 1. This is so fun! Ah, no! I went too far. Of course I had to push it. I think I just broke it in here. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be right halfway down where I was planning on cutting it anyway. I don't know. Why can't I just be happy with a little bit of twist? Now I'm gonna twist this the other way. Well, we're soon going to find out if it's ruined. It's like forge, make up a 16mm kiss block, forge it down so we can clean it up, so we can forge it. It just goes on and on. Delish. Back to the lathe. The way this was clamped on the last operation, one of these faces came a little bit out of parallel, so I'm going to go ahead and whack them on the surface grinder. They should be pretty... What? There's the magnetic chuck broken again. This is how we're going to do it. A little bit of steel, slap that puppy there, boom. Super glue. I didn't like it, so back to Chatter City in the mill. Right in the face. So there's our chevron popping through. Now these things have got very small. Oh my goodness, it moves. Jamie, welcome back.
How's it going?
You have a nice Christmas?
It wasn't the best. I was very, very ill. I've been very sick.
The whole time?
Mostly.
That's a miserable way to spend Christmas. What are we doing, Jamie? I needed calipers. Look how much this thing has shrunk. 10.7mm square. It's tiny. We had planned on cutting it in half, making it 4 layers of twist, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. So I think we're gonna try and cut each into 3 pieces, giving us 6 layers of twist. Now, one thing that is on my mind, though, is that on one of these, the quality of our material is really high, and on the other, we have a decent amount of unwelded material, which is not good. It looks like crap. I'm gonna try my best to orient it so that it's on the outside, it's on the side of the billet that's gonna get machined off. I need to stop being cheap with the billets that I'm putting together, and instead of making what I think is enough material for a project, I need to make a stack of material that is just so large that I could build 3 of the projects that I want, because then I'd have enough spare material to be able to just throw that out, but I can't. So this maybe is foreshadowing a future 3rd attempt of making material for this project. I should be wearing a respirator.
Should I?
You are.
Oh, yeah.
Time for another side project. I'm joking. So here's the plan. As you see, we have ourselves a 5-sided box. The top hasn't yet been welded, and that is going to be what we're going to assemble our parts in. But you see that's a lot deeper than those little bits of square bar. Well, I cut 3 more bits of grade 2 titanium that we are going to weld on the side of all our square material to give us an extra 6 millimeters of thickness so that we can have the Damascus on the front and we can build up a little bit more material by having the grade 2 on the inside, the back of the glasses.
Have you been writing Braille on the side of this?
Yeah, new hobby. It says, Jamie, you're a silly bean. I've measured the amount of gap we have. We should be able to force these in there to take it up. I may have just committed to something I can't cash. Well, that was a great idea until it wasn't. Little gratuitous application of mechanical persuasion. Right, we're gonna MIG weld up this box and we're back purging it with argon. This is going to be an incredibly difficult forge weld. I know it sounds like I say that all the time.
You literally say that every time you're going to forge weld anything.
Well, it does happen to be the case, Jamie, that we're doing very hard forge welds all the time. This is going to be one of the more challenging ones. Now, the reason this is going to be challenging is because we need to forge weld in 2 planes. You remember when we made this block up, we solved that issue by making squaring dies so that we could forge from all directions with every squeeze. We can't get around it that way this time. I have to hammer from this direction and that direction, get them close and stuck together, and then hammer from this direction and that direction. Which means we might get our little square bits stuck with a gap between them, which will stop them finally bonding when we then forge in the other direction.
Well, if it doesn't work, at least you can just make a 3rd billet, right?
There is a good chance that we're gonna need another billet. I do not like the inclusions that we saw in this one. Oh yeah. Woo! I've got no idea if it welded. I did have fun hopping about the power hammer though. This is fun. Whatever's there is there. Whatever shall be, shall be.
If you shake it, does it rattle?
No.
Well, it's probably good then.
Holy crap, I think it's done it. No! That's my titanium! The titanium and steel bonded more than the titanium and titanium. Oh, no, Jamie, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Phew. Okay, we still have 3 bits of titanium there. Woohoo! Look at the inside of the steel. How sick is that? It's picked up the impressions of the twisted Damascus, the chevron pattern. You reckon we'll get a pair of glasses out of that, Jamie?
I think you've overestimated how much material you need, because the weight of this is like a dozen pairs of glasses.
Well, maybe, but I do kind of see what you're saying, but we're gonna have to cut a lot off with the mill and with the Wazer to get this done. So there's going to be a lot of wastage. If there wasn't a lot of wastage before, there's going to be a ton coming up. Oh, it's pretty. This is going to be epic. Oh, the heat might have just exposed some issues. Look at that right in there, near the tip of the tongs. That doesn't look very good, does it? I don't know how bad those cracks are, but we're going to forge it down, get it to the dimensions that we need, see how it looks. Jamie, see the different colors right here and here? That is a sign that it's not stuck, because it's not conducting the heat evenly. That's hotter than this. Ah, it doesn't look good, does it? It can't be good. I want to try and stretch it out wider. Look how deep that is.
There's actually a term for a crack like that, you know.
What is it?
Creek.
Feel like that's where we are.
Where do you think Creek is?
I think you'll find that it starts about 2.5 days ago and it meanders all through the weekend into today, and it's right here. I don't know if this has worked. It doesn't look very promising. No matter what, I think we're learning things about titanium Damascus, and frankly, for me right now, I guess that's the most important thing. Look at me, looking at the bright sides. I really hope that you go check out My Heritage. Click the link that's in the description, QR code on screen again. We appreciate them sponsoring us. Most importantly, I'm so grateful for you being here. So grateful for your time. Thank you. Let's see what happens in the next episode.